We welcome you to Indiana South District Wesleyan Camp Meeting. Our first camp was held on these sacred grounds 70 years ago. A lot of change and accomplishment had occurred in the previous year. Indiana South was a new district. Dr. Melvin Snyder was the newly elected district superintendent. The campgrounds were new, as well as a recently constructed tabernacle and dining hall. Just a year before, where we now sit, was a heavily wooded area, totally undeveloped. Much of the land was covered by thorns and brush. It looked nothing like it does today. But Dr. Snyder and his leadership team had the wisdom and foresight to see the potential of the area. They envisioned a large, beautiful campus with a rolling yard. They envisioned a spacious tabernacle that would hold hundreds and hundreds of people, a dining hall for large crowds. Dr. Snyder and those around him thought big. You can sense this today as you walk across our campground. The acres of green grass, the imposing tabernacle building, the many structures dotting the landscape. In 1951, the present land was purchased for the new campgrounds. Quickly the land was cleared, construction started, buildings were erected. By July 1952, they were ready for the first Orleans camp meeting. There was a new tabernacle, a new dining hall. Actual guardhouses were constructed at the camp entry. People worked hard and fast. Much was accomplished in a short period of time. But there were problems. The new campgrounds lacked lodging accommodations. There were no cabins, no dormitories, except a ladies' dorm attached to the back of the tabernacle. People were coming to camp meeting from all over southern Indiana and beyond, and there was no place for them to stay. Reverend James Hurdle, the district secretary, was in charge of housing. He realized something had to be done quickly. He found the solution to the lodging crises to be tents. Tents were purchased. A tent city soon evolved on the east border of the campgrounds. All sizes were rented. The basic rental fee for a tent was 35 cents a night. A person could stay 10 days for $2.50. If you chose to avoid tent housing, city housing was advertised for as low as 50 cents per person. The first camp meeting in 1952 was hot and dusty, the temperature reaching 100 degrees plus. The new tar on the roof of the tabernacle actually dripped on the people. The drinking water was terrible. When it rained, the tents leaked. Some tent campers learned to dig a trench around the tent to keep the water out. Most people had dirty feet from the sawdust floor of the tabernacle and the dusty campground. Many washed their feet several times daily. Feeding the large crowds was another problem. A meal at the dining hall could be purchased for as little as 35 cents. Reverend Mark Story, the pastor at Evansville Forest Hills, ran the lunch stand. It consisted of a large tent with the cooking facility located in the screen center. Reverend Story did his best to maximize the profits from the operation, as those profits helped subsidize the camp. Early each morning, Reverend Story brewed a large pot of coffee. Slices of bacon were put on the grill. With the aroma permeating the campgrounds, the lunch stand was soon surrounded by hungry patrons. Sometimes people brought their own food from home. The story is told of one man who brought a coop of chickens. When the old hen of the bunch cackled, he would go get the freshly laid egg for his breakfast. The other chickens were eaten during camp meeting. It was said he always returned home with a lighter, more empty chicken coop. As we gather for camp meeting in 2022, many things have changed. Gone are the 50-cent housing and the 35-cent meals. Gone are the tents, the sawdust floor, the wooden benches. But as we celebrate the 70th anniversary of our camp, this is our heritage, our past. The men and women before us had visions and dreams. They worked hard. They accomplished much. Now it is our turn. Our camp has reached thousands of lives. The spiritual impact of the camp cannot be measured in this life. And may our prayers and desires today be that God will continue to bless and use our camp in the future as He has in the past.